Hello everyone, and welcome once again inside the historic Yost Theater for Get Down 9. I'm Todd Kennelly along with Rob Abreu. And Rob, on Get Down, we've seen a lot of history made, a lot of big championship fights with the likes of David Durant, Christian Aguilera, but tonight more history made as Get Down Promotions houses some of the fights in the Southern California State Championship Tournament.
That's right, Todd. Tonight we're going to see champions crowned in Southern California in terms of amateur MMA. These winners are going to go on to face the champions from the north.
Their shot to rise through the ranks in this prestigious tournament. Also tonight, some familiar faces step back into the Get Down cage, the likes of Sephus, Adrian Gutierrez back as well.
We've seen Gutierrez multiple times, now going to be his 5th appearance in Get Down. And of course, Sephus, a big-time prospect in terms of amateur MMA, holds belts and other promotions.
And while we're on the topic, let's just keep the trend going, making more history tonight. For the first time ever in the Get Down cage, the ladies are going to go at it, our first female fight tonight.
And I'm super excited because in terms of MMA, I watch on TV all the time. For some reason, the females always put on the most entertaining fights.
Oh, they bring it, don't they? And we'll be back with all kinds of action right here on Get Down 9 on LA56 right after this. We prepare to kick off the action here on Get Down 9 as we take a look at how these fighters match up in the tail of the tape, brought to you by Dollar Loan Center. These two fighters in the 135-pound weight class. Huang comes in a perfect 1-0, and he's a striker. He loves to throw leather, and his victory came by way of TKO. His opponent tonight, Rios, has a record of 2-1, and he's 1-1 right here at Get Down, and he's got dynamite in his gloves as well. This one should be explosive. Here we go, set for action, 135-pound weight class. Huang, a perfect 1-0, taking on Rios. Both these guys like to stand and bang, should be a good fight.
That's right, last time out we saw Huang win via TKO here at Get Down.
Rios with a record of 2-1. He's 1-1 here at Get Down Promotions. As the two stand in here, measuring one another as we kick off the great action here on Get Down 9. Both men trading now. You see Huang there in the black with the red and camo stripe. Taking on Rios. Oh, and a big shot there, just trying to throw bombs. Huang now covering up.
There goes the feeling out process.
Yeah, right out the window. Rios throwing punches in bunches. Don't know how many of those connected, however, as Huang tries to weather the storm. Looks like he has. Nice flurry there by both fighters. Big overhand looping right by Rios as he's stalking him like Michael Myers in a Halloween film.
Boy, Ty, I was just about to say I like the head movement by Rios until he just got dropped.
Yeah, Huang caught him, and now Huang eating one coming in. So both men just swinging for the fences, leaving themselves open in the process. Rios now drops Huang. Both men have tasted the canvas here as Rios goes to work.
Both guys showing good chins, but you can only take so many clean punches, and right there you saw Huang finally almost had enough and had to drop to the ground.
So Rios again, now look at this, the hands moving a lot slower. Oh, he sure is, that sprinting offense, but he's still going to work, and the referee says that's gonna do it. Rios picks up the win. Fireworks to kick things off, and we'll make it all official right after this. Welcome back to Get Down 9, here to make it official, our ring announcer, Angelo Trinidad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the official decision. Your winner, 1 minute and 41 seconds in round 1, TKO via strikes, Rios.
Rios picks up the win in an exciting one-round fight. My goodness, these two went at it as we take a look back at our fight recap.
Yeah, both fighters throwing early as you see Huang drop Rios. Returning the favor as Rios had dropped Huang earlier on in the fight, and Rios was able to recover, change momentum. You see the 1-2 combo right there, rocking Huang, throwing him up against the fence eventually.
Yeah, nice shot there by Rios, and look at that, just going to work. Did not want to leave this in the hands of the judges. He wanted to finish, and there you see it just ragdolling Huang.
And of course, Todd, by this time, Huang just pretty much out on his feet. I thought this was a good stoppage. You can see nothing left. The left by Rios connects, a right hand there, and Huang is really just on Dream Street, out on his feet, and as you see the ref come in and finally stop this fight.
Yeah, really caught him flush with a right in there, and standing by with our winner. Take it away, Patty.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Julio Rios. Julio, congratulations. This is your second TKO win here at Getdown. How are you feeling?
I feel great. After a sour defeat of that awful taste, I finally got it out.
It was a good fight, actually. It was a little bit of back and forth there. Looks like your opponent hit you kind of hard and you fell down. We thought that maybe they were going to stop it, but you got right back up and you were successful. Yeah. That was great. You're a local fighter, right, from here in Santa Ana?
Yes.
What are your plans?
I plan on keep going back to the grind room and grind it out, come back and fight anytime. That's one of my plans.
It's great to have you, and it was a great fight. Congratulations. Hope to see you here again at Getdown.
Hope to see you too. Thank you.
But when we return on Getdown 9, Getdown veteran Adrian Gutierrez steps back into the cage as he takes on the impressive Heinrich Wasmer. Welcome back to Getdown 9. We're about to head back to the cage, but first, here's Brett Collins from VersaClimber.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Brett here with VersaClimber, and I'm going to give you the VersaClimber training tip of the week. This week, we're going to look into the strength and conditioning program, otherwise known as Beast Mode Conditioning, here at Total MMA Studios with Giuliano Prado. So here you go, Giuliano. Show us what you do.
All right. Thank you, Brett. We're here to show you different ways to work out with the VersaClimber. We do interval training, incorporating boxing, so you'll be sprinting on the VersaClimber and then hitting the pads. Incorporating wrestling, same thing, sprinting on the VersaClimber and then setting up your shots. And then we do an aerobic and anaerobic training using the VersaClimber and the Versa Pulley. Also intervals of 30 seconds or 1 minute in between.
All right, thanks, Brett and Giuliano, as we take a look now at the tail of the tape for our second big fight of the night, and it's going to be high stakes, as it is a Southern California Championship semifinal matchup. Adrian Gutierrez, the battle-tested veteran, steps back in the cage. We've seen many great battles of his here at Getdown, but can he bounce back from 2 straight tough losses? It's going to be tough because he takes on Heinrich Wasmer. With an impressive record of 3-1, he's coming off a submission win. Who will advance in the tournament? We find out right now. Bell sounds, set for action. Adrian Gutierrez in the white taking on Heinrich Wasmer. And Rob, this fight a semifinal match in the California State Amateur Championships.
A lot on the line tonight for both these fighters. Winner gets a spot in the finals. We've seen Adrian Gutierrez 4 times now here at Getdown. Started off strong with 2 victories, but unfortunately last 2 times out, 2 defeats.
Yeah, worked his way up into title contention. Of course, remember he had a fight with the Farmer of Destruction, David Durant. Would love to elevate himself up through the ranks of this tournament, as both men now out of the scramble. It's Wasmer who gets the dominant position, that rear mount trying to take the back of Gutierrez, but Gutierrez well-versed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
He is, but he's in a heap load of trouble here early on. Wasmer has a tight body triangle on Gutierrez, and we've seen Gutierrez submitted in the first round before by David Durant.
Wasmer, yeah, he's got that figure 4 body lock on there. Keeps him in position, and I would imagine it makes it tough to breathe as well if you're Gutierrez. So really in the quicksand, struggling right now as Wasmer goes to work, striking out of this position as well.
Adrian's going to have to make a desperate attempt to get out of here, or he's going to get beat up or submitted in this first round.
Wasmer with a record of 3-1. He's coming off of a submission victory, and he might be well on his way to another one here. Ref steps in, and did Gutierrez submit here? Did he tap?
I have no idea, Todd. It looked like he was working a rear naked choke, but it wasn't in. I'm not sure if that was a verbal submission, maybe an injury happened, or Adrian just freaked out and yelled for the fight to be stopped. Now here's our replay. We're going to see if we can find out what really happened in that transition, if Adrian tapped or not. We see Wasmer here having the back. Adrian all tied up. Looked like he was trying to work an arm triangle, and Adrian's arm is trapped in there. Still can't really tell. Don't see a tap. Had to have been a verbal submission, Todd.
And we'll find out for certain when we make it official right after this on Getdown 9. Here's the voice of the Get Down cage, Angelo
Ladies and
Trinidad.
gentlemen, the official decision, 1 minute and 29 seconds in round number 1. Your winner by verbal submission via head and arm choke, Heinrich Wasmer.
Well, there you have it, Rob. You called it the verbal submission. Had that arm triangle in as we take a look at our fight recap brought to you by VersaClimber.
A very dominant performance by Heinrich Wasmer. Pretty much just took Adrian down early on in the first round, established that back control, was able to lock in a body triangle, and really Adrian wasn't able to do much after that. We just saw dominance on the ground. You see that right hook controlling Adrian as Heinrich slips in the arm triangle here with that left arm, and Adrian eventually verbally submits.
Adrian now suffering 3 straight losses, so a tough skid for him, but an impressive victory by Heinrich Wasmer. Makes it 2 straight wins by submission. He's standing by in the back with Patty.
Heinrich Wasmer, congratulations. It was a quick fight, short and sweet. Victory by submission. How you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling really good. All the training got put into work. You know, you train hard, fight easy, and that's the prime example right there.
So how much do you train really?
I think that's a full-time job for me, if not more. Full-time and overtime.
How many weeks of preparation once you found out you were fighting did you put into this?
I think it might have been a good 2 months, or like good 8 to 10 weeks, just about then, and just hard work. Started hard work and finish up with hard work, and like I said, fight easy at the end.
Well, it was a great fight. How'd you find your opponent? Your opponent's actually been here at Getdown for quite a while, and you were victorious over him, so that's actually quite an accomplishment because Adrian's a good fighter.
He is. Actually, I was supposed to fight him a few months ago, and fight didn't go through. Other fights came through and everything, and luckily we got to do it now and put on a good fight, so I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, well, congratulations. How are you celebrating?
Party hard. Well, can't party too much because now I'm in the finals, so another 2 months I got another fight, so just keep the training going. My party will be training more.
Okay, well, congratulations, Heinrich. We wish you the best.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, fight fans. When we return on Get Down 9, history will be made. Our first ever female fight as Molana Smith battles Farron Romero. Welcome back, fight fans, to Get Down 9. And Rob, we touched on it at the start of the program. History to be made. Our first female fight, and it's coming up next as Molana Smith takes on a debuting Farron Romero.
And we get to see the evolution of women's MMA. If you watch the UFC Strike Force, we see specialists, Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano was a Muay Thai fighter. Now these amateur fighters are learning everything, so it's going to be real interesting to see the evolution of women's MMA.
Oh, absolutely. And the women in MMA have taken the grand stage, and they've taken the spotlight, and now it's our time right here on Get Down MMA as we're going to go to the cage for our first ever female fight. Molana Smith comes in with a record of 1-1. She takes on Farron Romero. She's 0-0. She's making her debut. What a way to make her debut in the first ever female fight on Get Down, and it's coming up right now. History about to be made here in Get Down Promotions, our first female fight. And here we go. Farron Romero in the white taking on Molana Smith. Molana Smith comes in at 500 with a record of 1-1. Romero making her amateur debut here, takes the back of Smith early on.
Romero starting off fast here, just throwing Smith down to the ground, establishing the back. And we always see this stalemate, Todd, of this back position in MMA. What is Farron Romero going to do from here?
Well, going to be interesting. Is she perhaps going to strike? Maybe going to try and sink in a rear naked choke. Time will tell, but certainly has neutralized Molana Smith at this point. Smith trying to get some wrist control, trying to work her way out of this. As Farron's got that body lock on and just keeping her at bay at this point in the fight. Great to see the ladies in action. I mean, they have just come so far in this great sport, have earned so much respect, and now that taking place here in Get Down as well.
And for some odd reason, the female fights are always the most entertaining fights, whether it's Strikeforce, the UFC, now Bellator. The females really do know how to put on a show, and so far, Farron Romero is just dominating in terms of the grappling. It's got a beautiful body triangle going. Right now, she has an arm for the taking, could possibly even just get a hold of Molana's neck as she throws up an armbar here.
Yep, looking for the submission here is Romero, so changing the pace here, looking for that arm, could not cinch it in, and that opens the window of opportunity here for Milana Smith, who starts to strike, and Smith is a powerhouse.
She was in a heap of trouble, so being on top is a very fortunate position for her. Can't afford to get swept here, as Romero now thrown up and yet another armbar, and it's tight, Todd.
Wow, look at the power of Smith. Counters the submission attempt with a slam as round one comes to a close, and boy, did that action pick up towards the end. We'll be back with round two right after this. Here we go, round two. Farron Romero in the white taking on Milana Smith. Look at Smith now out of the side headlock, just muscles her down. We saw the strength of Smith on display at the end of round one. How about that slam to get out of the armbar attempt?
She just grabbed a hold of Romero, just threw her down. Still a little confused why she chose to take this fight to the ground after being dominated on the ground with Romero. We see that domination continue with the sweep right into mount up against the cage. Milana Smith in deep trouble.
Romero has looked really impressive with her BJJ game in this fight. I gotta tell you, very impressed with her composure. This again, her amateur debut.
And she is in a great position. Smith up against the cage, hands up in the air. Got the feeling Romero could just take one of those arms home if she chose to, but she's choosing to beat up Smith with some hammer fists.
Yeah, nice shots here by Romero, just going to work. Smith has got to do some, might try and get out the back door if Romero gets up a little too high, but Romero's got that body lock on as well, and now the hooks.
Yeah, I got a feeling that this is Smith's opportunity to shake off Romero. Unfortunately, unable to do so, and she's got to be really careful with that left arm getting underneath her chin. If Romero can lock that up, it'll be all over.
Trying to cinch it in here in round number two as Romero continues to control this fight on the ground. Looking good. Can Smith use her power to find a way to escape again like she did early on? But look at this.
Looks like it's in, Todd. She's got to pull that arm down. She's tapping. It's over.
Smith with no choice. She hung in there as long as she could, but just didn't have an answer to the submission skills here of Romero, who stayed vigilant, just kept working for it, and ends up scoring the submission victory.
Beautiful rear naked choke, and ultimately just dominant grappling by Romero.
First female fight in the books. Here's Angelo Trinidad.
Official decision, 1 minute and 38 seconds into round number two. Your winner via submission, via rear naked choke, Farron Romero.
Impressive victory in her debut there by Farron Romero, but she looks like she's paying the price, hobbling around a little bit after that fight as we take a look at the fight recap brought to you by Jack in the Box and their late night munchie meal. Count me in on that one.
Here we see Romero up against the cage, sliding that left arm underneath the chin of Smith, grabbing her bicep. Pretty much it was all over once she locked that in. A couple punches by Smith, but that's really never going to get you out of a rear naked choke, and it ends the fight.
Was really impressive throughout the fight, feverishly looking for submissions. And here you see it though, hobbling off. So I don't know exactly what happened, maybe an ankle injury there at some point in the fight. And we're told at this point that she is getting some help with our medical staff in the back. So Patty actually is going to be standing by with the loser of this fight, Milana Smith.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Alana Milano Smith. Congratulations. I know unfortunately the fight didn't turn out in your favor, but this is the first female fight that we have here at Getdown Promotions, and we're really excited about that. Tell me about how it went for you.
It would have been a lot better if I won, but it was a good fight. Congratulations to my opponent. I wish her a speedy recovery because I think she broke her ankle in this fight, so I can get a rematch because I like to get that back.
Well, we'd like to see it here on Getdown. Yeah, is there anyone that you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to?
I like to give a shout out to Team Roundhouse, my coaches, Carlos, my cup man, right here, Saul. We have a great team that works hard. We come and train. And our sponsors, I have sponsors 498 The Fam, Ape, and Go Getter, and Ill Bread. I'd like to thank them for sponsoring me this fight.
And tell me just, what was the most challenging part about this whole experience for you?
I'm a stand-up karate fighter, so the hardest thing is working on these submissions, fighting. She's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, So just combating the ground game, and I still have a lot of work to do.
Well, it was a great fight. It was great to watch. Like I said, it was our first female fight here at Getdown, and hopefully we'll get to see that rematch back here.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
Great to see the ladies step into the Getdown cage for the very first time, but don't go anywhere when we return. Two brawlers lock horns as Angelo Henry goes one-on-one with Sephus. Welcome back to Getdown 9 as we get set for another California State Amateur MMA Championship Tournament match as Sephus, a favorite here at Getdown, steps back into the cage. He takes on Angelo Henry. Both these guys love to strike, and with the stakes so high, this has the makings of an absolute slugfest.
All right, gentlemen, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go.
All right, you heard the referee's instructions there, and these guys better handle their business. High stakes matchup here. Another California State Amateur Championship Tournament matchup for a shot to get to the finals. Sephus taking on Angelo Henry. Sephus in the white, taking on Angelo Henry. Sephus, we've seen him in the Getdown cage before. Oh my gosh! Tim Burr is Angelo just going to work. Look at Henry go. These rapid fire shots on Sephus and doesn't know what hit him.
He's out. Stop. The fight's been stopped, Todd, thankfully, with the left hand by Henry, and then the punches in bunches. We see the replay. The left hand almost puts him out cold. And then you just see, really, Sephus caught a break here. If Henry would have just loaded up and dropped the hammer, he would have finished him, but decided to go for quantity over quality, yet the fight still gets finished.
All right, and we will make it all official right after this on Getdown 9. Explosive first round finish. Take it away, Angelo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official decision, 21 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via knockout, Angelo Henry.
And from one Angelo to another, Angelo Henry, impressive. We take a look at the fight recap brought to you by Dollar Loan Center.
Todd, this is basically a one-punch knockout fight. The left hand by Angelo Henry, followed up by some furious and speedy ground and pound, just overwhelming the already staggered and hurt Sephus. 21 seconds by knockout, Angelo Henry.
Give it up one more time.
Yeah, Angelo, Henry. I gotta believe that Sephus, you're right. I think he was out on his feet, was never able to recover. And then Angelo Henry just goes to work, advances in the California State Championship Tournament with an impressive victory here tonight inside the Getdown cage. He's standing by in the back with Patty.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Angelo Henry. Angelo, what a fight. Tell me about it, what happened in there?
We went over the game plan. One of my training partners, Neil, my other training partner, Keith Catrone, and Anton Monzo, we went over a game plan to just come out and execute. We knew he switched stance, and we didn't know what we were going to get because he's surprising in all his fights. So I just tried to come out and take what he gave me, stay humble in the pocket, and came out with the win with the big left hand.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Jarrell's a tough guy. We've seen him here at Getdown before. First time we see you here at Getdown. Hopefully we'll see you back again. What's your plan for the future?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm trying to pursue this state championship. I've been here 4 times in the tournament, so it's time to grab that belt. I've been so close, and I want to just help my team grow. We have our own team in Reno. We started from small. You know, if you guys want to go to www.soclutch.org, that's our team. You know, or facebook.com/soclutch, that's our team.
Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations. How are you celebrating tonight?
I don't know what we're going to do. I got to take this in for a second, you know. I'm from Seaside, California. I got to represent where I'm from.
Yeah, we got a ton of supporters out here, right?
Yeah, definitely. And also, shout out to my boy Omar that came out to support me. He's got a mixtape coming out. If you guys come to my page, I'll put a link on there for you to download his mixtape. And shout out to Brent's Limousines as well. So Clutch Fight Team out here from Seaside, California. 6-hour drive, went through the struggle, but we made it.
Hey, well, congratulations, Angelo.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Our main event is right around the corner. After this break, our final fight of the night, and it will be a semifinal tournament matchup as submission ace David Durant takes on David Flores in our main event next. Welcome back to Get Down 9 as we're set for another California State Amateur MMA Championship Tournament fight. Jarrell Sephus, a favorite here at Get Down, steps back into the Get Down cage. He takes on Angelo Henry, who also loves to strike. With the stakes so high in this one, it's got all the makings of an absolute slugfest. Here we go, set for action in our final fight of the night here on Get Down 9. David Durant in the white and black taking on David Flores. Both these guys come in a undefeated 4-0.
Flores caught a nice right uppercut on Durant there early on. Went to it again, but whiffed on that attempt.
Both men trading here early, and as I was about to say, Durant now goes for the takedown, and this is where he's more comfortable. 3 of his 4 wins have come by way of submission, Rob.
Yeah, he labels himself a jiu-jitsu fighter, and if you're David Flores, you got to do a better job in defending that takedown attempt. That was way too easy and way too early on to let Durant take you down and pass your guard.
Durant now out of side control here, trying to transition into a full mount, taking on Flores, and just fighting his fight right now is David Durant.
Yeah, Flores really in a fight he doesn't want to be in, on his back, on the ground, mounted by David Durant. He's really got to go for broke and try to get back up to his feet and use that stand-up advantage that he has.
Tough to do, though, with somebody with the jiu-jitsu credentials that Durant has. Got those hooks in deep now. Just secured in that full mount, going to work, striking as well, and scoring some points on the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, without a doubt, some people at home are going to argue as he goes for an Americana. You might have it here, Todd.
Well,
you can argue at home that this is a boring fight, that Durant's not doing much, but what he is doing is winning. And we've seen it time and time again. When it comes to the judging system in MMA, you might not be doing a lot of damage, but if you're on top, you're going to win the round.
Well, exactly. A big part of the scoring is cage control, which is exactly what Durant is displaying here. In firm control, Flores can get virtually nothing going at this point in the fight, as Durant is right where he wants him, and he has been striking. He did go for that Americana, so he's staying busy.
Todd, I saw Flores buck up twice to try to get Durant off him. Unsuccessful. It just really speaks to the 2 different levels in terms of grappling here. Durant really just dominating. And again, we always hear Joe Rogan talk about it in the UFC. These guys still really not in a full sweat, so Durant even has more of an advantage by landing this takedown and getting his groundwork in here in round 1.
Yeah, at this point, early in the fight, he can still get that traction, trying to maintain this position and go for submissions as Flores tries to pepper with strikes and get out of this position. He's in half guard right now.
Really, Flores is just hanging on here, really just not doing much, not trying to get full guard, not trying to stand back up, really just can't afford to just sit there on your back in this modern day sport of MMA.
Round 1 about to come to a close, and it does. David Durant fighting his fight in round 1. Can Flores get out of the blocks offensively when we come back on Get Down 9? Welcome back, everyone, to Get Down 9. David Durant taking on David Flores. Round 1 saw Durant really dominate the round, control the round with his ground game.
And Durant just doesn't waste any time in round 2. He knew that he dominated that first round, wasn't messing around the second round, and immediately rushes Flores, trying to take him down. Now he's got him pressed up against the cage.
Flores has to try and circle out of there, create some distance, and maybe strike, because he does not want to give up another round, and it looks like he might again. Durant with a double leg takedown right back into side control. My oh my, how familiar does this look from round number 1?
And when you talk about today's MMA game, you see guys get taken down, but they pop right back up, and that's something Flores is going to have to work on. He can't afford to just get taken down and just lay there as he is right now.
Well, and so many times as Durant now throws a knee to the midsection, that's not going to help Flores' case any. It's Durant trying to get into the mount again, much like he did in round 1. You see guys go for the takedown a lot of time when it's defended. They're expelling a lot of energy, but Durant has made it look easy. He's taken him down, at will these 2 times, and he's really conserving his energy in this fight.
Yeah, I got to say I've been impressed with the efficiency of David Durant. He really hasn't gone all out. As you see another beautiful takedown, making it look easy, very smooth, not rushing, taking his time, and really just dominating this fight.
Flores, to his credit, got back to his feet momentarily, got a couple knees into the midsection of Durant, but then, like you said, Durant never let go of that lock, just muscled him down again. Now has him cradled as Durant remains in firm control here in our main event.
This fight talk kind of reminds me of earlier UFCs where you see a specialist versus specialist, grappler versus a striker. More times than not in those days, the grappler was always winning.
Yeah, completely controlling Flores here. Flores' best bet is to get to his feet, find a way to create distance, and, you know, he's, as you say, you're always going to have a puncher's chance, but he can get nothing going from this position. He keeps sinking deeper and deeper into the quicksand of Durant as Durant continues to go to work.
And Flores did a good job there. He turned, looked like he was going for a single leg, turtled up. I got to wonder if maybe he had a rough weight cut and just doesn't have the energy, or he's a little bit fatigued here. Just really tough to tell, because I believe he knows what to do. He just hasn't been able to really get it going.
These two fighters fighting in 170-pound weight class. Again, another key matchup for them, a chance to go through the ranks of this California State Amateur Championship Tournament. So privileged to host these fights here right down at Getdown Promotions. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and if you're David Durant, are you already preparing maybe for the finals? Don't want to make this an ugly fight. Keep it on the ground, play it safe.
So almost a repeat of round number one as David Durant controlling the pace of the fight on the ground, and we'll be back with the final round right after this. Welcome back to Getdown 9. 1 round to go as these two fighters, 170-pounders, go to work. David Durant has been dominating the fight on the ground. Looks like he's going to try and do much of the same here in the final round.
And again, 3 for 3 on the takedowns, just way too easy. If you're David Flores' coaches, really just, it's got to be jiu-jitsu and wrestling every day for the next couple months.
And Flores has got to have a sense of urgency here, because he cannot win this fight if it goes to the judges. He has to finish. He's got to get to his feet and uncork something here in a big way.
No, without a doubt, David Flores needs a knockout as he's getting put in a Kimura. He's up against the cage, so I don't think Durant's going to be able to really get the crank he wants on that.
Yeah, on the flip side, Durant has shown great composure, great control in this matchup, but I'm sure he would love to put him away with submissions if he can. He's got 3 submission victories, as we noted. Can he make it 4 here tonight?
And to Flores' credit, from the bottom, hasn't taken a lot of damage, yet still losing the fight.
And if you're Durant, you just play it safe here, don't you? In a way, you know you got this fight on the cards right now. If you can stay in this position, no need to really let it all hang out. No need to maybe open the door for Flores.
No, we've seen it in other MMA fights where guys maybe feel pressured to rain down some punches and hammer fists because they're in fear of the referee standing them back up. We haven't seen that here tonight. Looks like the referee's going to let them stay on the ground. And if you're David Durant, you got a spot locked up in the finals if you could just hang on.
Flores tried to kick off of the cage to reverse his position, but Durant stays in the mount here, and he keeps his body tight. He's not, no sense of urgency, not posturing up, not striking. He just keeps it body on body. Virtually nothing Flores can do out of this position.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to wait for Flores to try to escape, and then an opening will present itself, but really Flores not doing much on the bottom. So Durant's doing a fine job just staying patient because he's winning with this mount position.
Now, what in essence has turned into a grappling contest, although Durant tries some strikes as I say that. And right now, everything coming up David Durant in this, our final fight at Getdown 9.
I haven't been keeping score, but on an unofficial grappling scorecard, I think the score is like 45-0 right now, David Durant.
Well, there you have it. Can Flores find a way to get to his feet? Like you mentioned, a referee, if the ref stood him up at this point, that would be a gift for Flores, but he has shown no ability to defend the takedown, though. So you got to think Durant would probably just take him down yet again.
And you got a lot of grapplers out there that argue that really, if you want the fight to be stood back up, you got to escape and stand back up yourself and not have the referee, like you said, present you a gift.
And tight hooks here by Durant as he strikes. Both feet were clasped there as this fight comes to an end. And we'll go to the judges' scorecard right after this. Welcome back. Here's Angelo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard for the official decision. Judge Beltran scored the fight 30-27. Judge Polo scored the fight 30-27. And Judge Howard scored the fight 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, David Durant.
David Durant grinds it out, earns the unanimous decision as we take a look at our fight recap brought to you by Fletcher Jones Motor Cars.
You see Durant not messing around, ducking under the punches, lifting Flores and slamming him to the canvas, which was really just the story of the fight. We saw it over and over in each round, moving into side control, transitioning into the mount position, and just pretty much dominating David Flores for 3 rounds.
And here was the gleam of hope for Flores. Sinks in a couple of knees, but right after that, it's Durant. Yep, once again, able just to take him down with ease.
Takes him down, beautiful body lock to the trip, right into side control. Again, the story of the fight, not much David Flores can do from the bottom as David Durant wins all 3 rounds easily.
Hi everyone, I'm here with David Durant. David, how you feeling?
Great. I just won, so I feel pretty good.
It's a tough fight in there, right? It went the distance?
Yeah, he was a big guy, and he was a lot stronger and better than I thought he was. He hit hard, too. So.
How did you prepare for the fight? You feel like you were adequately ready to go?
Well, I was supposed to fight another guy, but he pulled out, so I really wasn't prepared for him. I was preparing for a lefty, so. But, you know, it worked out. When you train, and you're ready for anything.
Well, it turned out for the best for you.
Yeah,
Are you going to see you back here at Getdown?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, it was a great fight. Thanks for talking with us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or give thanks to?
My wife, my family, thanks for supporting me, and my teammates and my coaches.
Awesome. Thanks. Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
We catch our breath after another great night of action right here at Getdown 9, a historic night on many levels, including some rules changes that our fight fans might have recognized.
Yeah, for the folks at home that noticed the rule changes, rash guards no longer required for the fighters, but will be provided upon request from the fight camps. In addition, the shin guards. For fighters who have 3 fights or less, they'll be required to wear shin guards, ultimately protecting the fighters. We've seen some inexperienced guys get head kicked. Of course, the legendary Brazilian kick from Garrett Whitman. No longer will we be seeing younger fighters take unnecessary punishment, ultimately protecting the fighters.
And in terms of the rash guards, really helping those fighters prepare to go to the professional ranks as well. But let's recap the action. Great night, including our first ever female fight as Farron Romero debuts in grand style, gets a submission victory.
And what an impressive win. Gets the submission victory and does so with a broken ankle. Really shows that these female fighters are really tough.
Yeah, paid the price, and we wish her well in recovery. We hope we'll see her right back here in the Getdown cage. And we saw some fireworks as well, some big knockouts, including Angelo Henry.
That big left just putting down Sephus. Really impressive considering the size of Sephus. Takes a powerful punch, followed it up with some huge ground and pound. And then Julio Rios, a Getdown veteran, getting another win over Huang.
And we saw fighters propel themselves through the ranks in the tournament as well. All in all, a great night, and make sure you join us next time. We'll have a little early holiday gift for you here at Getdown, where we deck more than the halls. Will be coming your way in December. For everybody at Getdown MMA and LA56, for Rob Abreu, I'm Todd Kennelly. Fight on.